capacitor is formed by two square metal plates of edge A and they are separated by a distance g. Now, dielectric constant K1 and K2 are filled in gap as shown in figure. Now what we'll be doing is that we take an elementary element like this at some distance x. Let the thickness of this element be dx. Let this distance be y. So this distance will be d minus y. Let's suppose this angle be d theta. Now let's suppose that the capacitance of this part is dc1 and capacitance of this part is dc2. Now let us talk about this only elementary part. Now these two elementary parts, that is dc1 and dc2, are in series, so I can calculate the dc equivalent of dc1 and dc2. On substituting the values, we have epsilon naught into k1 into area. This area will be equal to dx into the width, that is adx, and distance is d minus y, plus y epsilon naught k2 into adx. So on solving, we get dc equivalent as epsilon naught into adx into k1 k2 divided by k2 of d minus y plus k1y. Now we have, on rearranging this equation, we can get dc equivalent as epsilon naught a k1 k2 dx of. Now one thing also note is that y by x can be written as tan theta, so I have y as x tan theta. Now making the substitution in this equation, I can write dx divided by k2 of d minus y, that is d minus x tan theta plus k1 x tan theta. Rearranging this equation, I have dx divided by k2d plus x tan theta k1 minus k2 dc equivalent. Now integrating both this equation, as x is varying from 0 to a, the capacitance will be 0 to c. So we have c equivalent equals to epsilon naught a k1 k2 ln of k2d plus x tan theta k1 minus k2 divided by tan theta k1 minus k2. Here the limits goes from 0 to a. Now substituting the limits, we get epsilon naught a k1 k2 divided by tan theta k1 minus k2 natural log of k2. Also tan theta can be written as capital D by a. So making this substitution also in this equation, we get k2d plus k1d minus k2d divided by k2d. So solving on this equation, we get one thing also, that tan theta is substituted over here, so we get epsilon naught a square by d k1 k2 divided by k1 minus k2 ln of k1 by k2. is an answer.